know. Yeah, yeah, here we go. Niggas anthem. What?
It's the official Lagos anthem indeed, a classic on the station that plays every song, you know, Classic FM 97.3. It's 50 minutes gone past 1. It's 10 minutes to the top of the hour on a rather fun-filled Friday in Lagos here. My name is Lawrence. You're still in the Classic Lounge. And of course, we do have our celebrity guest here, who is the one who brought us that amazing classic, bringing together some legends of in the name of Two-Face Idibia, Modnan and Ella Joe with Style. I would like you to join me and make welcome to the legendary cool DJ Jimmy JAT in the house. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How you doing, man?
Man, it's such a good honor to have you here.
It's great to be here, man.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
I know I've been pushing you for a long time, man. Well, thank you.
Man.
Thank you for making
Thanks
the
for
time.
having me.
Being here, it's really amazing. A lot of people have been asking, where's Jimmy JAT? Where's Jimmy JAT? Messages here. So it's good to finally have you here.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks.
So what we're about to do now is pretty much to get into your life and get to know you, in a different way. This will be the first time you're with me on the radio, and we have been surprisingly.
I just felt like I've been with you severally before.
I know.
Just maybe exchange of phone calls.
Yeah. It seems I've always known you, of course, but
exactly.
we have not necessarily shared a microphone.
Exactly.
In the studio here. So once again, thank you for being here.
Thanks,
I know that you've got other engagement that would have prevented you from being here, but you made it as a man of honor. So let's go into it. Let's go from way back. Let's start from how it all started. I mean, I can imagine you've told this story several times. I mean, anybody that gets you will say, how did it all start? So kind of take us through how it all started and, what was it was like being a DJ back in Obalende, was it?
Yes.
That's where you started?
Yeah. Just around there.
just a stone throw.
Yeah.
So how did you get into it?
I probably can't really tell the story exactly how it happened, but
Right.
I was just a kid that grew up loving music,
Okay.
being influenced by my environment, mainly by my brothers, because I had two older brothers who were
Nice.
crazy about music, collecting all the records of those days, So
Yeah.
I guess that was my immediate heavy influence, So
Okay.
and I started out as a rapper.
Really?
Yeah, I was an aspiring rapper. I made a few demos in the early days.
Okay.
Shopping around for record labels.
Yeah.
It's not like now where you can run your own label, but then you have to get signed. To
Of
a
course.
label.
Yes.
I never got signed.
They always said no to you,
Yeah,
right?
because then I think in terms of being a rapper around here, everybody felt like it was too American or too Western.
Your style at the time.
It wasn't us. That's
It
what
wasn't
is.
local.
Yes, so eventually, from being a rapper to being a break dancer to eventually being the man rolling, spinning the record.
Yeah.
And then I kind of settled with that because I was more comfortable with that.
So maybe we can say thank God or thank you to those
For me,
people
I
that
look
said
back
no
and
to
I'm
you.
like glad. Because truth, if I had been a rapper, I'd probably drop one or two records and we'll be talking about what it used to be.
Used to be,
And of course, with the breakdance, I don't think my body can break anywhere. So it'll be over by now. But with the DJing, there's
You're always relevant if you know what you're doing.
Longevity that came with
Yes.
it, So and I enjoyed. I think it was just a process to find where you actually belong.
Right.
So for me, I'm glad I went this direction.
Wow.
So,
Well, you've certainly made an icon of yourself, a true living legend, to be honest, man. Your name already sells. Even before you play in a show, in a party or anything, they already know if once it's Jimmy JAT, it's certainly going to be lit. But what would you say is that thing that, because there are a lot of DJs, you're not the only one who started at the time, but they've not been able to sustain their credits the way you have. So what would you say is that element or that factor?
Sometimes I hate to take the credit and say it's something I did or something about me. I think it's just, passion for what you do.
Right.
I wasn't really doing it for any other reason other than I love it and I was passionate about it.
And you were good at it.
And then somehow, because before settling into it, there were a whole lot of negative
impressions. Yes.
So for me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to make the naysayers come around and probably appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
So in trying to constantly do that, you're making yourself better and you're making the profession better. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So because you feel like these people that felt like you went in the wrong way or you chose the wrong profession. You need to prove to them that, look, I didn't make a mistake.
Yes,
so
this was what I wanted to do.
So, yeah, so constantly trying to better yourself obviously means improvement. And I think that led to, at some point, it just became glaring that this is something to reckon with.
You mentioned earlier the naysayers, those who would have a bad name or bad impression. About DJs, back then even musicians,
loads of them.
Loads. I can imagine the discouraging words you got. Why one go they do DJ?
Exactly. I mean, when I started out, I mean, there were friends I couldn't even go to their house.
Wow.
There were friends that must not be seen with me because their parents had warned them, stay away from that bad boy.
With that bad boy, just to play music.
That boy was just to play music.
And wear baggy trousers.
You understand? I'm chasing women.
Chasing women.
Weed and, which I don't really. Never done.
Yeah.
So it came with a whole lot of that. So for me, it was constant thought of how do you convince or erase this from the impression of these people. So that also I think led to where we are now. And I'm glad where we are in terms of DJing because now I think a lot of people from even the best to the most comfortable background, the most privileged background are DJing now.
Yes.
So, and this was something that was frowned at.
I would say you made it a career. You made it to be
a part of it,
acceptable. You're being modest, and that's who we know you to be. You're being very modest, and that's fine. But we know that you made being a DJ to be very acceptable. I mean, yes, if Jimmy JAT can be who he is.
A lot of DJs before me as well.
Okay, well, yeah,
quite a number of DJs that we came along together. Everybody played a role, maybe,
in one way or another. It was a collective.
To be honest with
thing.
you, I think it was a collective effort.
I agree.
I kind of play key role, no doubt.
Yes,
obviously.
Right. But today, now that one can take being a DJ as a full-time career, full-time job, because if you know what you're doing, you'll be very busy.
Yes.
Still, would you say that education is a key part of someone's life? If one wants to go into being a DJ,
most definitely. I'm here because I can actually grant this interview. I can hold my own anywhere.
You can express yourself.
Yes, I know DJs are very, even in this age and time, they are very skillful.
Right.
But they lack the intelligence.
I see.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's what comes with education.
And if you lack the intelligence, you might also lack the business acumen as well.
A whole lot. You definitely, DJing is not just putting the music together. It's a business. There's a whole lot of other things that come along with it. So if you're not smart enough, and the smartness we're talking about is even, it's book smart. If you know what I mean, not street smart. You get what I'm saying? So the street smart, can take you to some level, but book smart would help you develop yourself too. So it's not just for DJing, for anything you choose to do in life.
Yes,
I believe that an educated cleaner will be better than an illiterate.
That's actually very true.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's very true.
So, yeah.
I remember some of the radio station I used to work with, we would always get trainings, in-house trainings, standard trainings. And I remember then our boss, shout out to him, and he would always say everybody should attend, from the cleaners to the drivers to the one at the gate. And they would always be grumbling like, what am I doing here?
If you have an educated gate man,
yes, it makes a difference.
You would know.
Besides, he would always say to them that you never know where your life or your career will take you. At the time, we had a first lady that everyone says wasn't necessarily expressive when it comes to spoken English, right? And then she would say, he would say, look at our first lady today. Did she know 20 years ago she was going to be first lady? If she knew, she probably would have brushed up on her.
herself.
So
without a doubt,
it goes a long way, to be honest. It goes a long way. But you've in your career, you've witnessed different eras in the industry. It's been a long. How many years has it been now?
Let me try if I can remember.
Surely more than 20 anyway.
More than 30.
More than,
I think maybe 35.
Just about.
Maybe thereabout.
You might be losing some dates there even.
Maybe sometimes I like to put it at maybe 32, but I think it's about 35.
35.
Because I've been DJing since before I was 20.
You can
and
imagine.
I'm 55 years old now.
You're how old now?
55.
No, you're not.
I am.
You're 29. For
I'm
heaven's sake.
55.
No, you're not. I can tell you. I'm
I
looking
hold
at you
fast
right
a
now.
a lot of people. Some people where they do bros for they don't know say that
You
be
be
their
born for where
brother.
they No, honestly, man, Jimmy JAT, you don't look 40. Really? You've done it well.
It's how you feeling on the inside.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Speaking to my colleague from the morning show when we were doing the handover, and I think I was telling her that when you work with music, you kind of would always grow better. Your growing old will be a fine process.
Exactly.
It's music. It's what it's food for the soul. Anyway,
Once you're around that space,
yes,
it helps your your
wow,
pain. Yeah, no doubt.
Amazing. I can't believe
I
it.
hope this does not affect our communication because that's
No,
what this
no,
does
no.
every time. Everybody now starts looking.
No, but me, I already know that you are
Yeah.
an Egbon to me anyway.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's not. There's no doubt about that.
But you
Definitely.
just see me as Jimmy, man.
Hey, it's all good. That's the thing. That's another amazing thing about you. You can literally count when it comes to the entertainment industry. To be honest, you can count on one finger the amount of those who are very modest, who the celebrity status or money isn't getting into their heads, and you're top two for me. Number two will be Tubaba.
Oh, I thought so too.
Yes, no, he's a down to earth
Wonderful
person.
guy, yeah.
He go dobale for you even before you start.
Awesome guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
honestly, shout out to him, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, what has it been for you though? Witnessing all these eras, it's as if to say you're Wolverine. You're not dying. You're witnessing World War One, World War Two.
For me, I mean, it's exciting.
Yeah.
I got into the whole entertainment space when it was looked down on.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
for you to be part of it and still be around when it is the major thing,
Yeah.
I mean, you understand what I'm saying? When
Yeah.
everybody prays and hope that they have an entertainer in the family, to coming from where once you're an entertainer in the family, they probably disown you. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So-
You're not a doctor. You're not a lawyer.
Exactly. Of all the jobs in this world, or all the
You want to play
professions,
music.
This is what you want to do
Yeah.
with your life. They always had that with your life.
your life.
I mean, I remember people taking me around to, listen to some other people. Even me, I'm a teacher, and I'm very proud of it. Of all the things in there, you chose to be a DJ. Come on. It was a lot of negative, and then you look and say, man, this is what I want to do, and it's not bad, And even at that time, it wasn't like I made up my mind to be a DJ. I thought I was just going to do it
For now,
for some brief moment,
You must have had some doubts though.
Yeah,
in
no
yourself.
doubt. I mean,
even.
there wasn't not too many. With due respect to a lot of DJs before then, but there were not too many people to look up to and say that's what I want to be. So
Yeah, not even abroad at the time.
I mean, abroad is far from Nigeria. Then there were no internet. So I mean,
true.
What do you know about?
You don't
them
know a lot of what's going on
their
there.
names and the music they
Yes,
put out.
true,
So it's not
true.
like you have an up close
Yeah.
to say this is the life of this person or this
Yeah.
is So yeah, but it was just my personal decision to say, man, I'm gonna stay put with this and see how far I can
my
take it.
passion.
Yeah.
Wow, nice. I mean, Nigerian music.
Yeah.
Or the Nigerian music industry has come a long way. There was a time when if you go to a party or you bought the CDs, DJ mix, all those, you can't find one Nigerian song in it. It's all foreign American music.
Yes.
Now all of a sudden, boom, it started. Then we would have kind of reggae, the Orit Willie Kid, Daddy Shoki, they were there,
but
but
they were not even in the scheme of things.
No,
for
they
DJs
weren't.
at the time. Yeah. I think really there were two things responsible for that. First of all, the quality of at that time we're all DJing with records,
right? Yes.
And most of this stuff, the quality of the production on vinyl at that time wasn't great. At least I know that.
The funny thing is, when we play on Classic FM, when we play some of this very old music, we call it the Akara sound. Is that in that?
I know.
We love it. So it lets you know that this is one old record.
Yeah, so it doesn't really most times blend into the playlist of an average DJ of that time.
Yes.
So everybody was playing pretty much, and then Nigerians were still not proudly Nigerian.
You're not ready to accept Nigerian music.
You see, then if you do anything that is indigenous or anything, let me use the word local.
Yes.
People take it like, man, ras. Like, what's all this ras stuff?
Yeah, local.
Everybody wants to form, what they're not. You know? But that kind of changed in the 90s, and then people became proudly Nigerian. Sometimes I always want to say, man, I don't know where to place it, whether it's from the movies or from the fashion. But I know those songs also play a key role in Nigerians becoming proudly Nigerian. Because before then, if you wear Nigerian made clothes, everybody says you're wearing Okra.
I think I'll give it to the music, to be honest.
No, the music also.
Music, number one thing that puts.
No, it wouldn't be number one.
No, I would say
people. I'll argue that. With
okay.
You. People embrace Nigerian movies earlier than the music.
Really?
Yes, in terms of embracing
it.
Yes.
Okay. I can see that.
Embrace that one. No, I won't say.
I think across border they embraced it faster than we that were in Nigeria here.
Exactly.
When it comes to Nigerian movies now.
Yes, no doubt. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Nigerian movies were already, like 90, 89, 90.
True.
That movie was already like
living in bondage.
Exactly.
Rattlesnake.
So people had already embraced all that, and I
Yeah.
think the music then came thereafter.
Right.
Because you don't look at maybe the effort of some early artists you can take, but it wasn't. Even the artists were still trying to play music as played by. So it was like a clone copy or version of other music. There was reggae, but obviously not on the standard of the Jamaican reggae at the time.
Of course not.
With due respect. There was people playing pop and all that. If you look at Alex, whatever,
Yeah.
But if you listen to the sound now, they were trying to be, Western sound.
Foreign.
And it wasn't on that level. So some of us didn't take it. But with hip hop, we kind of try and, at least indigenize, the sound. So I could take like an iLife song and just try and rap on it.
Would I be wrong if I said, in line with what you've just said now, that hip hop kind of made people accept Nigerian music more? Would I be right if I said tribesmen did that?
Very true. I mean, go listen to most of the songs, the early songs, maybe the 90s.
Yeah.
They were heavily influenced by hip hop.
Yeah,
heavily.
Honestly.
But and with an African
tribesmen started putting pidgin music, pidgin language into music.
I told you I was an aspiring rapper.
Yes.
But it got to a point where, you realize these things weren't being absorbed because people felt like you were an American wannabe. So how do you differentiate yourself from that? So we started rapping in pidgin.
Right.
That's where the whole, and you just realize that, this is me. The other people that they say you're trying to be like can't do this. So and then you start taking samples of loops from our own iLife song. What's it called? Juju music and all those kind of things.
Which is another thing I wish they would do more, sampling or covering. In Nigerian music, I don't think they do enough of it.
I feel like it's the time.
I love it when people sample or cover all the songs.
But people do a lot of that still,
right?
Although the way people do it now, because sometimes you might not be able to clear rights. So you reproduce that, and then when it's reproduced, you just feels like, it sounds like, but you really can't link it to the original.
Yes. Yeah. We'll have a break coming up. We'll play something from Jimmy here. But one last question I want to ask before we go into that break. We talked about movies, right? And we don't do a lot of scoring for movies.
Yes.
As well, you always hear just the normal default piano sound and she want to go, she want to stay. The kind of soundtrack we get in Nigeria. But how is it? Why do you think we haven't gotten there yet? If at all we will, really.
I might have to speak with some movie people because really, I mean, that's another area to look at.
Right.
I think budgeting is still, because of the movie, how much is the total budget of the movie? So you want to look at places where you can save money. You understand what I'm saying? I guess. But maybe when the kind of budget, the kind of figure that you go into it starts coming, people then look at other ways.
Amen to that. Yeah. We need to get to a point where just as quality as our music is now, our movies also need to get... It's getting there anyway, to be honest.
It's better than where it was before.
Much better.
So,
much better. Yeah. And you're still with me here in the Classic Lounge TLC. My name is Lawrence. And of course, Cool DJ Jimmy JAT is here. You have to say it that way. You can't just say Cool DJ. It's Cool DJ Jimmy JAT. Do you have people doing that as well? When they call your name?
I mean, let me tell you the story of that. Though.
Okay, I need to know actually.
You know what happened? There was one time for every promo, anybody books you for a show, they want to run the radio, jingle, and they always put some funny titles before my name. King DJ, Ogbonge DJ, especially Nigeria FM. Yeah, Ogbonge DJ. Or put something before that DJ. And I kind of like, I don't like titles. Same way I don't like people, all these Alaji, Cheap. I don't like those things, you know. So I just felt like maybe I'll make the name more difficult for anybody to add anything to.
Cool DJ Jimmy
I
Jan.
just put that cool, and it kind of solved the problem.
It's stuck. It's stuck.
So I don't get anybody saying King Cool, Great Cool. They just cool DJ Jimmy Jan.
Just cool DJ Jimmy Jan. It's become a trade name, to be honest.
When I was a cool guy, though.
No, come on. No, not from what I see. No, come on. You're certainly cool. Definitely. Let's go into the business side of the work you do, being a DJ, right? We talked about how is it one has to combine the two of them, the skill to mix music, to play music, know your right audience and all whatnot, and the other one is to be able to hold the business angle of it together, right? What would you say you found difficult about that, especially with you are? I wouldn't say I can call you a recording artist at this point, can I? Because you make music and then you play at shows as well. So how do you balance all of that from the business side of it?
In my own case, I kind of learned on the job.
Okay.
Because I got into DJing just for the fun of it, and it was meant to be something in the meantime. So it wasn't like I set out to say this is a business I want to do.
Right.
But along the way, you also know that you've chosen something that, like I said, a lot of people felt like it's nothing. So I'm going to structure it. I'm going to do it in such a way that you would see that it's a job. You understand?
Yeah.
So I started, looking at every aspect of it to say, how do you tidy it? How do you present this to someone and say, this is what I do as this is my occupation, So you start tidying it up. So for people that know me from even Obayin, you come to my studio, it's not an average DJ studio.
Yeah.
This is like, this is where you do this, this is where they do that. It's organized.
There was structure.
It's structured, So, and also because you put in so much time, it might as well take care of you. And if something has to take care of you, it has to be business.
Absolutely.
So
I agree.
In terms of how I handle bookings and everything, you structure it and say, okay, it's business. This is how we go about it.
Nice.
Because at the beginning, a lot of people will offer you babes and rice. I'm telling you, that's how bad it was, man. Jimmy,
as a form of payment?
Come play this party now. Babes go plenty.
At least they give you something. Some will thank you, will give you in thanks.
Man,
according to Sound Sultan, don't pay me in thanks.
Drinks. It's full like that.
You go meet people,
exactly. You go meet people, guy. Don't give me that, So I kind of started, let's talk. This is what I charge. This is how I charge. This is an hour. This is 2 hours. Things like that. And also looking out to say what are the other areas or what are the other opportunities that come with what you do,
right?
And structure it that way.
Which brings me to the other things that you do. You first of all, would I say you have a clothing line now? Is that what it is?
I wouldn't. I mean, it's merchandising.
Okay,
so
once you've got a line of merchandise.
So I just felt like, okay, maybe now we should try. At that time, so I put out my cap line.
Do you know I'm not the only one still hunting for your hats? People are asking for it. I'm not sure why you stopped production, but
I didn't stop. I wouldn't say I stopped. I mean, we kind of, had some little issues. First of all, there were, some other people were selling more than we were selling.
I see. I see. Yes.
Some things that we didn't produce were produced.
We're being produced.
Selling. So you need to find a way to step back and readdress that.
True. I
I
mean that's another form of piracy. I'm sure you've all had to deal with that with in your music as well.
And the unfortunate thing is that people buy them and then they come to your own events and they take pictures with you. So it's like you're saying, "Oh, go get this."
Right.
Because once I take a picture with you, and then but the guy doesn't have a way of knowing that this wasn't the authentic one.
It was fake that he bought.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah.
Maybe one should always say where one can get the authentic.
Yeah, that's what we ended up doing. So it became not as
popular
as it used to.
I get you.
But I mean, even when it wasn't as popular, it then made more business sense than when it was very popular. I don't know if you understand that.
I mean, honestly, I do. If when it was popular, you're selling only, for instance, 1,000 units of it.
But it also did something, even though that's not to encourage piracy, though. But I mean, it helps spread the brand.
Of course, it did.
So yeah, it did well.
And you're also an author.
Would I want to take that title?
Come on. Once you've written one book, you're officially an author. Yes, that's what's been said. So you are an author, right? You are.
When I had a book,
you wrote a book, hence you're an author. When was it published?
2014.
2014.
Yeah.
What's the title of it?
Avant-garde.
What does that mean?
Like a pace setter, like
right.
Pioneer.
Obviously. Quite befitting title for the book, written by the number one DJ in the country. Honestly, yes. So I understand you've got copies of the
definitely.
book. How many copies have you got to give out?
I have like 3 to give.
3 copies of the book, signed.
I will sign them
by DJ Jimmy JAT.
Yes, sir.
Right. We'll be giving out 3 copies. Just keep listening to know how you can win yourself a copy of. No, it's 2 copies. I'll keep 1 now.
Oh, okay. I can.
Okay, 3. Then I'll get my no 1 problem. Because I certainly have to have it in my library. But then let's go now. Still talking about money and business of things. How rich are you, Jimmy JAT? I know. Because come on, see,
I'm okay, but rich. I mean, it's relative.
There we go with his modesty again.
No. But for real though, I mean, rich is relative. Where your money reach now, where some other people start.
That's not true. So, that's actually very true.
And then depending on where you're also coming from,
right?
You always thank God and say, "Man, I'm far from where I used to be."
Of course,
yes, so
definitely.
But I'm okay.
Of course, you are. we thank God for His graces. But let's leave it like that. Yeah. I'm actually more comfortable with asking you straight up, "How rich are you?" than asking you, for instance, "How much do you charge when you pay?" Because I feel as if that's
tell you that. Now, how much is your salary? And I don't have a fixed. I have
a feeling that my salary is not up to what you charge, and that would be on a family and friends basis. So it's still not up to.
But I do some things for free though.
Well, it would have to be. It have to be because you know what you would get when you do it for free.
But really, I would have been able to answer that question.
Yeah,
it was a flat rate.
Right,
it's not a flat rate.
It's not, of course, it's not.
It's not a flat rate.
I host events as well, social and corporate events. So I understand that you can't really say this is the amount I charge. You'd have to consider certain things.
I've done things at minus amount.
I can
imagine. And I've done stuff at 6-7 figures.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is a more welcoming question. What was your first when you started to charge for your work? If you can remember,
my first big pay.
Your first big pay, yes.
1,000 naira.
Really?
Yes.
1,000 naira.
And it was the bank end of the year. Yeah, 1,000 naira.
Even at that time, I don't know that you can ever do anything reasonable for you. 1,000 naira.
1,000 naira. I charged 700 naira, and they said just do a good job. They gave me 1,000 naira. It was a bank.
Wow.
End of the year party. You know what that means?
Of course I do. I know.
That's well paying.
Yes, 1,000 naira.
It must have been like maybe early 90s.
Yeah, of course.
Or maybe late 80s.
Wow, 1,000 naira.
1,000.
And you opened bar for boys.
And that was when I started having the mind to call thousands for people.
Of course, yes.
Guy, 1,500.
1,500.
2,000. So,
hey, my God. 1,000
I'll never
2,500.
forget. The bank was NIB.
NIB at the time.
And it became Citibank eventually.
Yes, of course. Eventually.
And this party, end of the year party, was at the hotel.
At the time.
So you know it was prestigious.
Yes, and they gave you 1K.
And 1K DJ.
How much did that pay the MC?
When it was the star, I mean the artist for the night.
Wow.
And I heard how much she collected, and I was like, wow, someday.
Well, someday.
I don't know if she won't mind, but I heard they paid 25,000.
At that time, 25K.
25 times.
That's not the amount to buy one nice.
Was even
one
plus that plus.
Wow, that was amazing. But how would you describe your best year, though? I mean, and in terms of revenue, breakthroughs, giant strides, achievement, all that. How would you describe, or what would be your best year ever?
Oof.
Would it be the 90s? Would it be?
My memory is very terrible, to be honest with you. I struggle to remember things, but there have been some. Man, that's a tough question, man.
I know. I can imagine.
Year, obviously not last year.
No, not 2 years. Not last 2 years either. For everybody.
Last year I was out of the country most part of it.
Okay.
I was in the US.
Okay.
Almost the whole year. So
I'm still crying from the big event I lost 2020. They had to call it off because of the Rona.
Yeah.
Man.
So I really can't answer that.
Yeah, I know.
To be honest with you.
Okay, let's go to a question about challenges, because I'm sure younger DJs coming up right now who are listening to you will be having their pen and paper trying to jot down some. What would you say have been your major challenges as a DJ? I
spoke about that earlier, but I think it's been erased now. You know, is people not seeing what you do as worthy of anything. You know, so like I said, I mean, when I started, some people probably just stay off you for the fact that you're just a DJ,
right?
You know, or just discard you like trash. Obviously, I mean, even in terms of people being ready to pay you for your services, people think just to come and play music. And I think some people still do that now, but I mean, that would be an uneducated and unenlightened person.
Ignorant one. The thing is, even radio presenters, it's the same impression that they have of us.
For any job, as far as
yes,
I mean, you're setting up equipment worth millions of naira,
and the job
collection is millions of naira.
Sometimes you've bought all of them,
and then your acquired skills itself,
absolutely,
several years. You know, and you're bringing all that at once to maybe an MC will just need to buy a new suit and come around.
No, lie. Let's go back to the experience you've acquired over time.
Exactly,
first.
that one. But you're not bringing equipment.
And sometimes this suit sometimes this suit is money for one speaker.
We wear suits too now.
No, lie.
All of us they wear suits.
If DJ wear now I want to wear. If DJ wear ordinary.
Me, I had to step down because at some point I felt like I was always decking up more than the bride and groom. I mean, more than the groom. At some point,
there was one time they accused me, literally, well, in a good way, in a sort of a compliment kind of way. Someone came to me and said, you are the MC, you dress past the groom. I said, well, it's not my fault now.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to come out good.
At some point now, even me, I got to it and said, guys, I beg, take it easy. Which on your own? Not be just to come and play music. Go come reach party, come, I beg, slow down.
We've got questions coming in on WhatsApp here. This one says, good afternoon, Lawrence. Shout out to DJ Jimmy JAT. I saw him in December at an event in Onuru with shows. That's Lekon Air Virtuoso with that one. Once Jimmy Jat is on set, you would definitely know. And this one says, good afternoon, Lawrence and DJ Jimmy Jat. In my opinion, the song that put Nigerian music on the African and global scale was Two Baba's African Queen. My question to Jimmy Jat is, what is industry doing to document the history of Nigerian music and Nigerian musicians in books and records or for posterity to read? For example, only a sample of Nigerian artists had a Wikipedia page about their life history. That's from Shola in Ikoyi here.
I know that a lot of people are working on documentary for the music industry, Afrobeat like we call it now. You know, a whole lot of documentaries are being produced right now.
Right.
Some of them are being part of, so I know those ones are coming. And I think sometimes it takes time before things really get to a certain point, because you get to that point where you now realize there's need for it, and that's when people get on it. You know, and I know quite a number of people working on some production that will, address that. Maybe I've seen books as well. There are books, maybe they're not as widely spread as they should be.
Right.
Or maybe people are not so interested in books for now, But I have a couple of books about the music.
Are you going to write a book about your life? Is that what your book is about now?
I might. I don't know. I've done. I feel like everything about my life is in my previous book.
Okay. But it's not strictly about your life now, is it?
It's not strictly about my life.
Right.
But maybe if I have to write another book, it will be about the music industry.
I see.
But I'm still contemplating.
I think if you did that, especially the road building to what Afrobeat has become today, because you're one who's been there through the growth process. I think it will be a good read. Because we need that knowledge. That you have.
And I actually put out something recently. It's called Afrobeat Evolution. So it's like a visual representation of what.
Well, we're going to come to that. That's an amazing concept. I have seen it. I've seen it.
I'm doing that.
You owe me one cap for that question. I've seen it.
I'm just putting that out, and the feedback is awesome because
It
I
really
now
is.
realize that people are now just by that video representation.
Yes.
People are now remembering a lot of things and a lot of artists that they really didn't remember. You know,
Yeah, that they have forgotten about.
And sometimes you can't even blame people. Some people that are appreciating this stuff now are maybe 20-year-olds,
Right,
and they were
right.
not around when these things were
Yes.
done, you know. So it's a way
Yes.
of educating and enlightening people,
Keeping
about-
that memory
Exactly.
alive,
So
to be
it's
honest.
going on. It's some volumes. I think I've done up to volume 3 or 4
Really?
now.
Well,
You know,
let's
so,
segue into that. How did you come up with that concept, the evolution of Afrobeat, is it?
yeah.
It's on your YouTube, but snippets are on your Instagram,
Yes,
right?
They also had on TV for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did you come up with that idea? Because it's honestly, we should be saying thank you to DJ Jimmy JAT for. So you bring together, you play old music.
yeah.
Let's put it that way, and
It's not limited to old music. Like I said,
Yeah?
it's in volumes. So I started volume 1 from the 90s.
Right.
and then
Okay.
Volume 2,
Okay.
2000.
I see.
Early 2000, mid 2000, late 2000.
so you will definitely come to current date.
So we will definitely get to this this time. I mean, no doubt.
Tell us about that that
I
project.
think it's an idea that came up during the isolation period.
A lot of things were born, including babies, during the lockdown.
At that time, during that lockdown, I was in this Instagram live,
Yeah.
all those things, and you look and say, man, what are the other areas you can do? And then something similar also now gingered it. There was this thing done by DJ Cassidy.
Okay.
So I saw that. I'm like, okay, that's kind of in the direction of what I'm thinking of. So when I was in, so I just thought, okay, so I recorded a lot of them about that time.
Someone can actually call that like a mini online concert.
Yes, exactly.
Because you've got the actual,
because the actual thing
artists
was,
performing
because when I was
on
in
camera.
Live, when I started doing the Instagram live thing, that's what I used to do. Get the artists to come on live
with you on
and then
Instagram.
I'm in the studio playing their music and they're vibing to it.
Oh, right.
You understand?
Right,
So I
yeah.
just felt like, okay, maybe we can see how we can work with that as
Yeah.
a production rather than a one-off thing on Instagram live. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Nice. Hopefully that goes on to sell. Do you have a projected mind for it?
I mean,
how many volumes are you looking at?
I'm just recording as we
get along, right?
So, but I'm also hoping that it will translate into a concert.
It'll be great for sponsors to jump on it now.
An annual concert.
Yeah.
So we might want to do an Afrobeat Evolution live show.
Right.
Maybe once a year. Maybe it could be more than that, but once a year.
That's something right there. Something right there. Let's go to this question on WhatsApp. It says, Afternoon Law and Oga Jimmy JAT, love your art. Please, I have a DJ friend and the way people treat DJs is appalling.
Yeah.
They don't pay much, but they want you to not to stop the music even at 8 p.m.
Yes.
What would you do? It says.
That's where the business thing comes in. I personally, when I realized that people just want you to play forever, I started charging hourly.
Right. Should I keep playing? Yes. Now your money. Should I keep playing?
No, but not there. We will have this conversation.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. Yes,
day,
but because you know that they know you charge per hour.
You know. So if it's time for me to get out and you want me to continue, guy, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you. We know what we're doing.
Yes.
But that is even if I don't have a gig there.
Of course, yes.
Otherwise, if I have a gig and I need to be at the other gig, then guy, we need to wrap up.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yes.
But that's where the business also comes in. You tidy it all up before then.
Yes.
But you also, maybe you can do that when you're on my own level. A young upcoming DJ who is just getting opportunities might not be able to be that rigid with ideas. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's good to spell this.
And from the evolution of Afrobeat to Jimmy's Jump Off, is that still on?
Yeah, but we rested. Okay, so the TV version has been rested for a while. Okay. But I still put it on YouTube once in a long while.
Yeah, everything is online now, isn't it?
Yes.
And those of us that are not online savvy, we should be abandoned
now. The main
now.
concert, we've not had it in 2 years.
Right.
Last year because of, the year before
obviously
because of COVID.
Yeah.
Last year because I was out of the country almost all year.
Yeah.
So maybe hopefully that will come back this year.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Let's take a few more questions before we let you go, because I know that you need to run out of here right now. This one says, good afternoon, Lawrence and cool DJ Jimmy JAT. What would it be seeing any more collaborations with artists like on Too Much Remix and Style? Oh, Too Much Remix and Style.
Oh, the remix?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The songs were decades ago.
Yeah, well, I think the person's asking,
new songs.
What will it be? Will we be seeing those kinds of collaborations?
Oh,
Style
definitely.
and Too Much,
Yeah. I'm always recording. I have new songs recorded. I've just, been thinking of when to put them out or how to put them out properly. But I think I might take a leap from that.
Yes, please. If anybody can bring Wizkid and Davido on one song, it'll be you. I think you can do it. They've hugged themselves out now, but they've hugged it out, so it's easier now. Even if that hug hadn't happened, it's you might need to. So yeah,
for me, I probably would not be, because what I would rather do is this person sings, that person rap, this person does.
Oh, I see.
Like different styles.
Right.
The style is almost in the same.
It doesn't. Just the idea of having the two of them.
It sounds great
on a song. Then have a video. They are both there.
Yeah,
that'll be amazing.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
I might start that conversation.
There you go. Let them know you got it right here in the Classic Lounge first.
Yeah.
That'll be good. Now, this person, Okweoluwa, thinks to know you from time back, says, I've known DJ Jimmy JAT since his early days at Odo Street, or by the day back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And some history right there.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Lawrence. Shout out to DJ Jimmy JAT. This Coyote from Obalende, the guy that used to repair his electronics. Do you remember?
Okay.
Yeah, that's him right there.
Yeah, man. It's really that one.
You remember? That one struck a familiar chord, right? It struck a familiar chord, that one.
No doubt.
Yeah. Nice.
I probably will get a handle from you.
Yes, definitely. It's on WhatsApp. His number is here in case you fancy it.
I'll just get a number.
Absolutely. So yeah, there you go. We're reconnecting you now to your old friend Jimmy JAT. So let's finally, before we go, this is a bit of a game, more or less. It's word association, right? So I call a word, and you tell me the first thing that comes to mind. It's very easy. These are very playful words here. We're going to have fun with this one. Just a few of them, right? So I call a word, you tell me the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
First word is music.
Jimmy JAT.
There you go. The music industry.
Wizkid.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah.
Or Big Wheeze as he is now.
Big Wiz, yeah.
Big Wheeze. 90s.
Swing.
80s.
New Jack Swing.
Of course,
but it
yes.
was late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, early 90s. But it still goes into the 90s nonetheless. Okay, 80s now.
80s. What comes to mind? I don't want to say music related again. That's why.
Right. Let's go into fashion. That you can think of something fashion related.
Nothing,
right? Not in the 80s. Curly hair and things like that.
80s. I say Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, straight up. Lagos.
City of Hustlers.
Love.
My wife.
Of course. Next name is Buhari.
Should I be very honest?
Well, don't put us in trouble, but don't let your honesty cost us our job.
Boko Haram.
Okay. Nigerian police.
20 naira to 200.
Roger. NEPA.
I haven't done the dealing with them in a long while, but when I used to, ladders and electric poles.
And finally, Classic FM.
Awesome music.
And
every song that I know.
Definitely.
Yeah, awesome music. Awesome. Let me tell you the truth about Classic FM.
Right, go on.
Truly, go and check all my cars. And if the last person that drove any of my car is me, you will know.
Right.
Once you start the car, it's
Classic FM will come on.
Period.
Definitely. It's for quality stuff. Definitely. And if you didn't become a DJ, what would you have done? What would you have become?
In my parents' head, I thought I was going to be a lawyer.
Right. Did you like to argue? Because people that used to argue
Yes,
very well.
I used to argue.
I don't see you like that.
I used to
I think you'll be the one that, hey, I've heard. Hey, don't worry, Baba, I've heard.
Maybe, yeah, to some extent. But if I feel like I need to defend this, like I will,
Right.
I will be on you for a while.
Interesting.
So they probably in their head thought, okay.
There'll be
I disappointed
Mama
them.
lawyer and Baba lawyer.
Exactly. Because really, that was even easier at that time because of that time there were just three professions as far as parents were concerned. Either be a lawyer, doctor, or an engineer.
Yeah,
and
true.
to be a doctor or engineer, you must be a science student.
Yeah, of course.
I
yes.
wasn't a science student. So the only thing left for someone like me to do is be a lawyer.
Yeah,
True. But
well, it's been a great time having you here with me in the Classic
Pleasure
Lounge,
is all
Jimmy.
mine.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
See, I've forgotten to ask the question for your book. We've been having so much fun.
Which book? We've asked the question about
I've not asked any question for someone to win the book.
Oh, okay.
Okay, quickly now.
The books are with you now. Do what you want to do.
Later, right, when you're gone. I can do that. Yeah, still in the Classic Lounge here. We've got to be a few more hours, so I can do that. So, yeah, I'll just let Jimmy go now. Thank you very much, Jimmy, for coming through. Thanks you so much. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I mean, we'd always be in touch, definitely after now.
Most definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Keep it here on Classic FM 97.3. Jimmy has turned up and he's out of here right now.